Let's be honest, math worksheets can be, well, a little dry. So I want to show you a game that completely flips the script, bringing the fun of rolling dice right into your math lessons. It's called Place Value Yahtzee, and trust me, it's a total game changer for teaching numbers.
Think about it. On one side, you have the classic math worksheet. It's usually static, done in silence, and it's really just a solitary task of rote memorization. But on the other side, you've got a game. It's dynamic, it's collaborative, it requires real strategy, and best of all, it gets kids reasoning out loud. That's the powerful shift we're going to dive into.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll talk about why this is way more than just a dice game. Then, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of how to play. After that, we uncover the secret sauce, rich math talk. And finally, I'll give you some great tools for the classroom and show you how to customize the game for pretty much any student. All right, let's jump right into part one, more than a dice game. This is all about seeing how we can transform that quiet, heads-down worksheet time into a lively, buzzing conversation about numbers.
You know, the beauty of this game is just how versatile it is. It's absolutely perfect for a math center, it's a fantastic morning warm-up, or even something for those kids who always finish their work early. Every single roll of the dice gives them a new chance to compare numbers, estimate what might happen next, and most importantly, reason through their choices out loud.
Okay, let's get down to business. How do you actually play this thing? The best part is that it's super simple to set up. You can literally get a game going in just a couple of minutes.
This setup seriously could not be easier. Your goal? Build the largest, or maybe the smallest, number you can. All you're going to need is 5 dice for each player or group, some kind of score sheet, and a pencil. That's it. You're ready to go. Okay, here's how a round works. Step 1. You roll all 5 dice. Step 2 is where the strategy kicks in. You have to decide where to place each of those digits on your score sheet. Now, here's the most important rule. Once you write a digit down, it is locked in. You can't move it. After everyone's done, you compare your numbers. The player with the highest number gets a point, or the lowest if you're playing that version. First one to, say, 10 points is the winner. And that brings us to the real heart of it all, the secret ingredient, rich math talk. This is where we realize that the conversations happening during the game are so much more important than who actually wins.
So yeah, on the surface, the person with the biggest number wins the round. Simple enough. But is that the real point of playing? This is where Place Value Yahtzee goes from just a fun activity to a really powerful teaching tool.
The real point is to spark what we call math talk. And as you can see here, this isn't just random chatter. It's the process where students have to actually explain their thinking, justify why they made a certain move, and learn from hearing how their friends are thinking. When a student has to talk through their strategy, they're cementing that knowledge in their own brain.
So the game itself is really just a vehicle, right? It's a launch pad for these conversations. It creates a structured moment for students to explain themselves and to hear totally different ways of approaching the exact same problem. This fits perfectly with modern teaching ideas like building thinking classrooms, where student conversation is at the absolute center of learning. So, if this math talk is the big goal, how do we actually make it happen? Well, that leads us right into our next section, tools for the classroom. And these are some really simple but incredibly effective ways to get those conversations started and keep them going.
One of the best tools you can have is a simple sentence starter. Take this one, for example. I decided to put the blank in the blank place because. So a student might say, I decided to put the 6 in the 10,000s place because it was the highest number I rolled and I'm trying to make the biggest number. Boom! Just like that, their strategy is out in the open for everyone to hear and discuss. Here's another great one, and this one is all about comparison. My number is greater than yours because this prompt pushes students way beyond just saying I win. Now they have to prove it. They might say, because my digit in the hundreds place is a 5 and yours is only a 2. It forces them to name the exact place value that's making the difference. And of course, the teacher's role is to guide and deepen that thinking with some great questions. You know, asking something like, how would your number change if you switched 2 digits is great for mental math. But a question like, why is it better to roll a small number early or late? Well, that takes the whole game to another level. Suddenly, you're not just talking about place value, you're getting into probability and long-term strategy. And now for our last section, and it might be my favorite, customizing your game. Because one of the most brilliant things about Place Value Yahtzee is how easily you can tweak it to fit every single learner in your classroom.
Just take a look at some of these options. For your younger students, you can just use 3 dice and focus on numbers up to the hundreds. For older kids, why not add a decimal point and build numbers to the thousandths? You can even make it cooperative, where partners have to agree on every move. That really ramps up the math talk. Or try target practice, where the goal is to get closest to a number like 5,000. And for a real challenge, you can use 6 dice and a special game card that gives a unique goal for every roll.
So I want to leave you with this one question to think about. What if the most important math lesson isn't on the worksheet at all, but it's actually happening in the conversation between two students with a handful of dice? This game really shows us that's not just a possibility, it's an incredibly powerful way to learn.